welcome to Awesome Game Replays with your host Sodamachine. Woo! Yeah!
Let's go, Soda!
Some of you maybe remember me. Some of you who are new fans since like 3 years and up or down, however the fuck you see it, may have no idea who I am. I'm actually a staff member of SG Weekly. So thanks to real life, I haven't been able to do anything, but here I am today. Hope you're all doing wonderful. And also, if you remember me, things can get a little bit messy, because I'm rusty as hell, and I'm not used to this. But hey, that's just my flavor. So, with me today, we have the developer of this game. We have Mhinbron here.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you here. And we have Looloopaa, the main pixel artist.
Howdy.
Wow, using the Texas word I see.
Yeah, I'm not even from Texas, that's you.
You fake Texan!
Oh god. Yeah, I can already feel what kind of episode it's actually gonna be. Anyway, please, tell us a little bit about yourself and about this game.
Well, we're a pretty small team. We started out a couple years ago working on some various different projects until we kind of hit on this one because we figured we could get it out in a relatively short amount of time. We wanted to make something that was kind of tapping into our nostalgia of these games that we played as kids, you know, Pokemon, the Game Boy Color Zelda games, stuff like that, because both Min and I grew up with the Game Boy Color, and we also wanted to do something that was a little bit more NPC focused, because a lot of these games are like, you've got, you know, randomized dungeons or you know, really heavy dating mechanics, stuff like that. And we wanted to try something that was a little bit more, you know, personable. So that's kind of what informed the design of this game. I don't know if there's a whole lot more to talk about other than that. We're still working on more games. We've got one that we've been chipping away at for a while, but that's sort of a long-term project called Xenocyte Clad. But then we've also got one that we're planning on releasing later this year called Curse Crackers, which we actually have a trailer out for.
Oh, actually, let me get that. I can probably link that.
That'd be
Please
much
continue.
appreciated. But yeah, we're just trying to make cool games, make the kind of games that we think will be fun, and try not to worry about anything else past that.
Cool. So, how long did this take you guys to actually develop this game? The Prodigal, that is.
I forgot, what month was it? Was it 8 months that we had?
I think we actually ended up making it 10 months because we released it in October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were going to try and release it in like July, but we ended up taking a little bit of extra time to polish things up, fix bugs. Min actually rewrote the entire like movement system and
really?
AI system of the game in like 2 months. Yeah.
We got really close to the wire on our deadline, and I called a meeting at like midnight, and I said, hey, the game is garbage and it plays like garbage, and I hate the dungeons, everything's bad, I'm gonna redo it. And I think everyone wanted to kill me a little bit, which is, you know, reasonable, because at that point we had, what was it? We had like 1 month left, and that was part of why we did the extension on our deadline.
Yeah.
And I redid all the dungeons, all the movement, everything. I even like nuked a bunch of the items off the board, all in 2 months, and that was a very busy 2
Oh,
months for
dang.
me.
So you've been working really hard.
Yep.
And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it, and it actually really
And then
shows
of
in the
course,
game.
and then what? We did 2 weeks, and then we released our first content patch. We did the haunted house after 2 weeks.
I think
I think
so.
it was.
It was either haunted house or back rooms.
No, Backrooms wasn't our first content patch. Our first one was Haunted
Mhm.
House, and then we did Backrooms is 1 month after that.
Yeah. Sadly, we won't see them in this run.
Good old speed run, skipping content. How could you? We worked so hard on it.
We're skipping all post game.
Well, hey, you know, that just means that anybody who's watching who wants to give it a try will have the chance to experience all that stuff for themselves,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Because the true 100% run is down to 35 minutes or something, but the 100% run is still around 4 hours, and that's a speed run.
Right. It takes most people like 6 or 7 hours just to beat the first part of the game their first way through.
Yep, and then we added Demon's Dive and other content into the post game, and Demon's Dive by itself is as large as the original game when it first came out, which is obscene.
Ah, but I love it so much. It's the best dungeon.
Yeah, we got we've done a lot of these updates kind of in response to what people and their reactions to the game were, because as you may have experienced with the vanilla experience, it's not a very difficult game, particularly if you're taking advantage of the buff system, which to us,
Yeah.
the intention of that was to give sort of a difficulty modifier where people could, oh, I'm having trouble with the game, I'll make it easier by getting buffs, or if people wanted to make it harder, they don't get buffs. But even with that, people were having too easy of a time with it. So that was a huge part of the decision to do the Gods and Gamblers patch, where we have those altars that allow you to add additional difficulty to the game, which we think has done a pretty good job of that, since only I think 1% of people have managed to get through it still. Out of 2,000 players, we have 20 at this point.
Okay. Yeah, so the game really have a lot of optional content, optional difficulties. And if you really want to crank it up, this game can get really, really difficult. So it really fits every player, really. There's something for everyone. So is there anything more we want to add?
In regards to like difficulty,
No, I meant explaining the game.
Talking about the game? Ah, heck. I mean, we could talk for hours just talking.
Yeah. We're gonna have some time talking during the run as well, because we're gonna have some less interesting parts.
Mm-hmm.
So should we just get into it, because it is still 42 minutes long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the run.
Let's talk about the run. Let me get my Streamlabs up. Also, my music ended. I just realized that was stupid. Oh well. So the speedrun, this category is 100% marriage, which basically means beat the game as soon as possible, but you also need to get married. And in this game, you have today, I believe, 10 different girls you can marry.
maybe I honestly don't know the count anymore.
I've lost count.
Nice.
Yes,
There's
10
too
wives.
much going on.
You see 6 of them on the splash screen. That's actually why I chose this splash screen. You can actually unlock different splash screens by doing different doing different challenges. However, for the 100% marriage speedrun, we will go after Lynn, which is the blonde girl to the left, because, well, she's the fastest, and we gotta go fast. And sadly, also not really the most interesting one in casual play, if you ask me. A lot of other girls have interesting events and stuff where you actually do combat. Anyway,
That's why Lynn's the fastest.
that is why Lynn is the fastest. But yeah, you will get to know about pick your own waifu. There's someone for everyone. So shall we start the video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to count down, or
Yeah,
just
we're gonna do a countdown,
ready,
like
go?
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, on
We'll
go.
Okay, yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, Go. Oh shit, no, I need to actually put on sound.
So fun fact about that title screen, the art for that was actually done for like months after the game was released before we put it in. It just wasn't polished. So while we were looking for stuff to put for like the bonus art that you get for the feats, for the achievements, we remembered that one and cleaned it up and finished it to put in the game.
So here at the beginning, we will be walking very slowly for the first 10 minutes, and basically for the first 10 minutes, we're gonna set up our gold to actually increase that speed through a secret shop that was added in a later patch. Yep, specifically to help speedrunners, right?
It was to make things a little more interesting,
Yeah.
also to provide potential other options for speedrunning, and there was also the problem of the Chaos Altar. The way it had to be coded since it came in late, there was a small percentage chance of people getting bricked. So I wanted to provide, a solution to that if that were to occur.
Yeah, so the story about this game so far is that, well, we fled to the south, and we are now coming back because our parents are dead to pay their respects. However, people don't really like us because, well, we stole a lot of gold and left. And now we're coming back to Grandpa, and the beginning here is just the intro cutscene. It's not really that much interesting in the speedrun. In all of the all of the categories, you can actually skip this, but this category was born from an earlier competition race, right?
Yep, the original
Yeah.
Crocodile run is what made this category, and that's why it has the most submissions. It's because we had a lot of people that wanted to participate, even if they, didn't normally speedrun. They had fun doing it, so we're hopeful that with our upcoming one, we'll have a similar response.
So here we have Amadeus, a pretty cool dude if you ask me. We're only gonna see him 4 times in the speedrun, I believe. Because we will actually skip one of his cutscenes, 2 of his cutscenes.
He doesn't show up too often in the game anyway, just enough to remind you that he's there and wouldn't mind putting you through the floor as well.
Oh yeah, he doesn't like you.
Southern trash.
Southern trash.
It's been really cool watching all the speedrunners change the route.
So
with
that
all
the
these tricks
intro
and stuff.
is done, and we're picking up the harmonica. Now, the first time you're playing this game, you will not actually have access to this either. So, in a sense, it's kind of a new game plus, but whenever you unlock that, that will be there for all your save files. So don't go looking for it if it's your first playthrough. You will not get it yet.
No,
So-
you can get it on your first playthrough in a sense, you just have to have beaten the final boss of like the main story, and then you can continue in that file to do the extra stuff.
So here we talk to Lynn for the first time. I believe we need to talk to Lynn 8 times total. However, to advance an NPC story, it needs to advance 1 whole day, so, we do that whenever we actually have advanced 1 day, just to save a little bit of time. For now, we need to pick up our weapon, and we are a miner, so we're gonna pick up an old pickaxe, which will be our main weapon for the rest of the game, except that we're buying an upgraded version, but, never mind that. Also, rats are scary.
Bad RNG on that rat right there kept you from going right where you wanted to.
Exactly. In this room, if you're real good with your movement, you can actually skip the turtle up there, so you don't have to wait for it. It's pretty tight. I believe if you lose up to 10, 16 pixels, you will actually get hurt.
Really?
Yeah. As I realized, because we changed the route, that doesn't actually even matter anymore, because we're saving quitting and getting back for health anyway. Oh no, this is the old route, right? We're not doing that. Now I need to remember what the old route is. So there's a new route, and I had a new video up, but there's no audio on it, so I decided to use the old for a record video. Or else we either be listening to a silent video or having me tap the spacebar on the live feed.
I've been around for those streams. Those are crazy.
I thought I got rid of them, but they're back. I need to fix it again. Anyway, so movement in this game is that if you're very close to a corner, the game will actually push you. So now that you're very slow, you can actually do really tight corners if you so desire. You have up to 6 pixels where you can let the game just force push you in the most optimal path. However, when we get the speed upgrade later on, that is less optimal. Now, however, we're going to probably the most boring part of the game with this route, or well, any route, and that is, we mentioned the secret shop. It has items, and we want those items, so we need to accumulate gold, and the fastest way to accumulate gold is through gambling. Just so you know that, kids. You get rich by gambling. So...
Not the lesson we were hoping to teach with this minigame.
So we're gonna sit through here in like, I don't think it's 4 or 5 minutes. We can probably talk a little bit about this memory game, and that is, if you pick up 3 skulls, you will lose. However, there are a couple of tricks to this, and that is that 6 of the skulls out of 8 are actually stationary in the same place. So you just need to know where the other 2 skulls can spawn, and when you see them, you just avoid the rest of the skulls. So you can, in that sense, you will never lose. There's also another trick that we recently learned, and that is, there, you see the shield card to the right? It's always there. And that have also sped this up for the future runs.
I actually don't know a whole lot about the tricks behind this card game. That was mostly that was all Min, so he knows all the secrets.
There's probably more secrets.
Probably.
Nothing in the casino is rigged. Nothing is rigged. Everything is fair, and there are no tricks to any of the minigames. Trust me, I am an honest merchant.
Don't trust him. So yeah, you can watch me being bad in memory.
I mean, you're doing better than I do.
I'm just
I
watching
usually, I'll mess up a couple times, and I help make the game.
You can do this faster once you get used to it. Today, like this one is actually a week old, and I've improved a lot during that time actually. Because even doing the card is also fairly new. Before I came into this scene, we used to farm the gold, or well, they used to farm the golden rocks. And the route was also completely different, and then I changed things up and lowered it by almost 10 minutes.
Yeah, which was crazy. Min and I thought, like, no one was gonna get it that much lower than the record before. We were like, that's gotta be like as low as you can go. Surely you can save like maybe a couple minutes tops. And then you come around, it's like, yeah, we're gonna do this in, what are we at now? Like almost under 40? Or are we under 40?
In this category, we are 40 minutes and 4 seconds.
Okay.
Min's bug screwed us up 40. We don't talk about that here. It's fixed now.
Look, you're gonna be sub 40 once you have the instant text in.
Oh, absolutely.
So, don't you be giving me no lip.
So we should be done here now. And we're gonna save and quit because it's faster that way. And now the action can actually finally start to begin. We have optimal weather, though I forgot to talk to Lynn earlier, I believe, so I need to talk with her first. Now, of course, the game is also divided into 2 acts, and in the first act, you can only advance Lynn 2 steps. How many steps you can advance the other girls, I'm not sure. Some are more, some are maybe less, I don't know.
I think you can advance Keaton a couple steps more.
I think she's 4.
Yeah.
So we picked up the mushroom earlier, which we gave to Oakley here, also one of the girls you can date. That way she can open the potion shop, and here we are going to buy the strength potion, which straight out doubling your current damage. Now at the beginning we have 1 damage, we pick it up, we will have 2 damage. And then we're gonna go here to the arena where Marianne is, another one of the waifus you can marry. And you need to go to her to defeat her challenge to get the key to the title mine, the second dungeon in the game, which we will do first. I had a fairly good RNG, and thanks to the strength potion, 1 charge attack was enough to kill the blue skeleton, who usually has 3 HP, I believe. 1 charge attack also doubles your HP. No, HP, your damage.
One thing I find really interesting is, and I don't know if it was you who started doing this or if the other speedrunners did before, I can't quite remember, but we're gonna see it later. You started going to, what's the word? You started going into dungeons to grab the items from them, but not actually completing the dungeons.
Yeah, I do that in 4 Altar.
Well, I think you do it in this one as well.
No.
No?
No.
Never mind then. I completely miswatched it before.
It's confusing with all these categories and routes.
Yeah. So we went into the bar there to buy a buff upgrade, which increases our movement speed. Now, this is not a permanent movement speed. This is a temporary buff that you can buy for 60 gold. That one was put in there for speedrunners, right? Or?
That was put in to kind of respond to the general complaint of the character movement is so slow. And since the beginning, we've had the running boots in, but you had to do small favor, and
Yeah.
would go through not figuring out the need to do that. So we put that there as something that's obvious and easily encounterable for someone to pick up speed.
Yeah. So the normal way you get it is obviously doing the small favor, which takes not a lot of time if you know what you're doing, but when you're new and don't know where people are, it's gonna take you some time actually. So here's the secret shop. We bought 2 of the dungeon items and 2 extra keys. So now we can, ooh, right. Look away, you guys didn't see that. So we can actually do the second dungeon very fast, and we're gonna skip most of it thanks for us actually buying the dungeon item earlier. Again, something you can't do on your first run. So now the speedrun is a lot about optimizing your movement, knowing the best solutions to every puzzle, because every puzzle has more than one way to do it, and also killing the bosses as soon as possible. Some are more easy to do 1 cycle, others a bit tricky. Some, like this frog, is RNG dependent, it jumps 2 or 3 times. I don't remember how many times it jumps here. Also, I bought a pickaxe upgrade, so our normal hits now with the pickaxe and the strength upgrade, we're actually doing 4 times the normal damage you usually do here on your first playthrough. That's why the boss dies so fast.
That poor frog.
Poor all bosses. We are buffed to the max when it comes to damage.
Part of the trouble we ran into was with our difficulty modifiers. People were taking the intended difficult content and they were buffing their brains out, and so they just like easily clear through it. So we actually had to put in some damage ceilings on the later bosses because we wanted to make sure that they maintained the feeling of being difficult for people, even if they fully buffed themselves.
So now we're getting some interesting mechanics here. Of course, first I took a damage boost so wait not having a great cycle. And then I do something that we call an Umber Skip, which is basically when you hit an object from an unintended angle with the help of a charge attack. And we will do that 3-4 times for the run. And the skip is named after the person who found it, Umbers. Hard to say what it is because we're not there on the screen anymore, but when we come there again, I will tell you guys.
That's actually one of my favorite tricks, especially the way that you use it right there, or previously in that room with the barrel. Really, really cool. I think the way that you guys have managed to figure out how to use that to get a whole lot of things into a better position is crazy, and just like timing it with the buttons is not something that it's not something that Min and I ever considered as a potential interaction, but it's cool that it works out.
I'm really happy for it. So early in the dungeon, you saw me going to the right, which I believe was a dungeon inside a dungeon that was added later. We're not going there, but we're using the teleport there. Teleport at the beginning of the dungeon to teleport at the end of the dungeon, so we can quickly get back to the boss after we got the boss key. We also use some iframes to walk through one of the rolling rollers, stone rollers, rolling pillars. What are those even?
I don't know, we just call them rollers.
Rollers, okay. Push some rollers, hit a button to save a lot of time to not having to wait for cycles. Now we're in Alchemy Fountain, which today is the most common run killer, actually.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of runs ends here today. And not because of the dungeon, but because of the boss.
I was gonna say, is it because of the boss?
It's because of the boss.
We got pretty used to streamers getting into this dungeon, and then before they get to the boss door, they're at 1 HP, and that one spider constantly will catch people, and it's been pretty amusing.
Which is crazy because, when we were testing it, Ben and I were like, no one's ever gonna get hit by this little spider. No one's gonna get hit by this.
I got hit by a lot of spiders because, well, they're so fast. If you're not ready for it, they will catch you off guard. Also, we picked up the Dread Hand. We never explained the Dread Hand. The main item of this game, which teleports you to the beginning of the room from which direction you came from, and a lot of puzzle revolves around it. Like, not all of them, but a lot. So here we have the rat boss, rat potion, armadillo, whatever the fuck you want to call it. In practice, very simple. He's in a ball and you want to pass it into spike balls. Which spike balls on which wall is random, so you need to obviously maneuver around him and hit in the correct wall. And I believe 6 hits and he's dead. I was pretty lucky here and it went quite fast. Not perfect RNG, but I was happy with it.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
You only missed, what, like 2 or 3 times there?
I think 1 or 2. I didn't count. The reason why that boss can kill runs is because he can get stuck in a corner, and not only is it very difficult to get out, but every time he bounces on a wall, he actually spawns one of those barrels going down, which explodes and shoot pellets in 4 directions. And that can actually get quite overwhelming when you only have 1 health, which we only have health in this route. Nowadays, though, we have 2 health there, if we do good. And we're already at the 4th dungeon. Like, all the dungeons gonna be pretty rapid fire. So, this is the back door of the Croc Casino, which is basically the sneak dungeon of this game. Where you see these statues and these pirates, you have to sneak through them. If they see you, they will send you back to the prison, and you have to start over. However, at the start, obviously, we want to get hit because, well, it teleports you forward in the dungeon. You're saving time. Here I'm getting caught again, because getting caught is 1 second faster than running back. And now we are saving Caroline, one other girl you can marry in this game. It was also my first choice on my first playthrough.
Your favorite.
I don't actually think it's my favorites.
I think it's really neat that you can dodge, I guess, basically her talking to you, because I don't know if that was set up intentionally or if that's just kind of an oversight on our part originally, and we just left it in because it was neat.
No.
But I never knew that you could do that until I started watching these speedruns.
So if you guys were paying attention, it just looked like 2 rooms ago that I was walking over spikes, which, I mean, I was. But how spikes work in this game, that when you enter a room, the spikes is already deployed, they have their hurt box active until they lower. However, every other spikes that pops up after that only hurt you on the frame they pop up. After that, you can walk on them. And we're gonna use it a little bit here and there. And here we are at the 4th boss. This is Brent. The only one we actually truly know the name of, I believe. And the last boss. She's quite easy if you're used to, you know, shmups, shooting games, SGs, which most of us here are in this in this channel, in this stream. But thanks to us having, you know, damage to the max, we kill her with 1 charge attack and 2 regular attacks, which is a total of, let's see here, that's 4, 8, well, 16 health. So if you don't have the new pickaxe, which you could have normally by now, and don't have this strength, the boss would obviously take a lot longer. So now we talk to Bolivar, so we get the key to the castle. We've been helping Bolivar getting material for a sword he wants to smith. And he asking us to go grab a seafarer, but then something happens.
So, fun thing about a lot of the early bosses. Actually, I'll wait a sec.
I mean, this is a perfect time.
Okay, well, some fun thing about the early bosses, a lot of them actually have something added to them from after we added a lot of the extra dungeons, and if you look back at earlier playthroughs of the game, you'll notice this.
Oh.
A lot of the boss rooms have those raised white platforms added to them in addition to the pits, and that's because there's an upgrade that you can get later for the for the fist there that lets you jump ahead a tile. And we realized that there was a lot of opportunity for shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it turns out we have helped the bad guy, spoilers, forging some ancient magical weapon. I'm not really fully sure about the lore yet, so I'm still dwelling into it. Now we feel bad and we wanna flee south again. Which, spoilers, also not going that well. There's a storm and they're throwing us overboard because they blame us for it. And we are immediately on the 5th dungeon. And as you can see here, the main mechanic will be these iron balls and the ice glide physics, which is very reminiscent to like the Pokemon games. However, what you will soon learn is that ice glide physics for speedrunners is just a suggestion. So, do I have it in this run? I'm not sure actually. I hope I have it. Here we just damage boost for the turtle because, well, we don't need a health. And we bought 2 keys earlier. We're using 1 here to save time. So there you see. Ice physics is just a suggestion from me.
No kidding.
You're not gonna do that on your first playthrough.
Ice tech is a feature, not a bug, by the way.
Yeah.
or it has the ability to be an expert at sliding on ice.
And this boss varies the kill when you are buffed to the max. Yes, do a regular hit followed by a charge attack.
Wow. Oh, man.
I mean, I guess you didn't really want to give him too much health because people don't have the option to buff up.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's why he's the easiest boss in the game, is because he's the only one that you can't difficulty modify. And, you know, you get all your buffs knocked off of you when you died earlier, so...
He's also
you originally did.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He's also preceded by what seems to be the hardest puzzle in the regular game.
Oh, yes.
So, you know... I feel like having that boss be particularly difficult right after that puzzle would make people upset.
Right. So in this run, I don't actually remember if we're doing Castle Van or if we're doing the Crystal Cavern route. Alright, first we're gonna talk to Lynn. We're now in Act 2, so now we're gonna advance our waifu. Very important. So she's gonna be here for this route, where she is practicing sword fighting with Mariana. And we advanced her for the day, and we're gonna head to the next dungeon. And it's gonna be a surprise for me. Which one is it? We are going for Crystal Cavern. Okay. So this dungeon was also added in a later patch, correct?
Yep.
Correct.
It's a Hero's Rest dungeon, I believe.
Yes, this was in Heroes Rest.
Yeah, and what the story goes is that we're supposed to go to this black and white monster world, and we will find a big lady there asking us to bring her 2 colors. Originally, there were only 2 colors, right?
Correct.
Yeah. However, through the patches, 3 more have been added, and one of them is faster to pick up than one of the original ones, and also way easier, so we are doing that.
Yes, Castlevania used to be the old run killer, and now you've replaced it with Crystal Caverns, which is a heck of a lot safer.
Oh, it's very safe. It's just puzzles. And most of those puzzles we just skip anyway.
You also get the upgrade too, which is nice.
In the new route, we actually go here earlier, before Act 2, for different reasons. But it also makes the timing a lot more harsh on Act 1, because you remember you have a time up to the upper right corner, and NPCs will move around depending on what time of the day it is. And if you're too late in Act 1 when you finish the Casino, that will actually stand in the way of the castle, and you cannot proceed and need to wait for the morning.
Yeah, he'll sit in front of the gate.
And
So there is a bug that Umber's has discovered, that if someone is not perfectly on the grid like Van is in that situation, you can sneak past them with the fist.
oh no,
charge.
it's this run. Oh no, it's this run. Oh no, why am I showing this? Yeah, here I realized I forgot the key. I need to pick up a key.
Oops. And still a world record
And
run.
still a world record. I mean, the game is pretty young, and the speedrun community for it is also like even more young. There are more room for optimization. And here I'm trying to do the ice skate glitch, going not that well. Well, second try, huh? That's good. But yeah, at least I got the key.
We'll just have to wait till we get tool-assisted speedruns.
Oh, dude, I wish. But doing these PC games is pretty hard.
Yeah.
And there we picked up the Frozen Heart, one of the colors. And it only cost us all of a gold. So now I'm gonna go to bed to advance the next day, because, well, I got teleported to the house, which is the closest to a bed I will be. Might as well advance the next day so I can talk to Lynn again to advance her one step. In the newer route, we actually buy the boots upgrade, which is a lot more expensive, but it will allow us to save and quit. So even if we take more time gathering gold, we save time by not having to go sleep every night.
I mean, mostly that would just have to be doing more in the casino, right?
Yeah, it's one more card game.
That's not too bad.
No, but it's one more card game. So now we're going to the Magma Heart. This is one vanilla dungeon, which features the classical mirror puzzle, which, I mean, it explains itself. Oh, there actually the teleport killed the skeleton.
I can't believe you telefragged him.
I telefragged him. You can telefrag in this game. If that's not a 10 out of 10, I don't know what is. So here in this room, I'm gonna do my strats, which I call the sex strats, because I could name it whatever I wanted, and no one can stop me. Which is, if you're really fast, you can hit the switch before it actually goes up, and you can save a few seconds. It's quite hard. It saves, I don't know, 2-3 seconds maybe. I haven't actually calculated. It's faster.
Definitely faster.
It's definitely faster when doing it the intended way.
I think it's safer to say the suggested way.
Yeah. So here's the Umber Skip. I missed it the first time, and then we hit it to the right instead of doing the actual puzzle in this room.
Crazy. For a while, people were trying to teleport across that, or not teleport, like, they were trying to hit the fire and then skip across to hit the switch.
Oh.
Yeah. Before Umber's figured out that big skip.
It was a really huge skip. I think that room alone saved probably 7-8 seconds. And we are coming up to the boss, and I don't think I one-cycled it in this run, but I was really lucky to make it not matter that much. Yeah, I'm not gonna one-cycle it. However, you have two ways to hit him. Otherwise, either way, one way is to, you know, reflect the flame to it. The other one is to punch his shoulder when he, well, tries to punch you, and he becomes vulnerable again. However, if I did one-cycle him, I would say probably another 5 seconds. So this run is not very good.
Wow, you got that heart so fast the screen didn't even finish fading.
Yeah, I mean, you can click it as soon as it spawns, which it does when the screen is basically faded.
Uh-huh.
So we sleep again to advance another day because we got teleported. So we're gonna talk to Lynn. Never mind, apparently I forget to talk to Lynn.
Bye, Lynn. We're ignoring you.
This is why I want a new video. So yeah, the new world record is almost 2 minutes faster. That's how much I improved on it. So now we are in this monster black and white world. What kind of world it is, you have to see in story yourself, but it's pretty cool.
So what made you want to speedrun this game?
What made me want to speed? Oh, that was pretty sudden actually, because I started playing this game and I almost 100%ed it, but I couldn't finish Here's Rest, and then I put it on hold for 3-4 months, and then I had another friend play it, and I got motivated to finish it, and then when I finished it, I was like, okay, now I can finally look at speedruns. And I looked at the NA% true ending, and what I saw was like, huh, I can do better than this. I'm gonna give it a try. Like, that record, well, it's not up there anymore, but if you watch it, you can see me being surprised that I actually get the world record. Because I believe I get it on my absolute first try.
Probably. I think there was only one run of that at the time, right?
3.
3, really?
Hold record.
Ah, that's right. I forgot about his record.
So in this room, it's one of the more complicated puzzle in the vanilla, but we're just gonna skip it because we got a rocket punch upgrade.
You don't have time for that.
Don't have time for puzzles. Skipping is faster than doing.
Actually, this one is one that gives people a lot of trouble, just on a regular playthrough, when they're doing it for the first time.
Yeah, and here we have another Umber Skip, hitting it like this. I can imagine, because you're still not used to all your tools and all the little tricks you can do with them. Heck, even I forget about them every now and again when I'm doing Demon's Dive.
Well, I mean, that was the last dungeon that Min worked on, so that's got like the culmination of all of his crafty experience when it comes to making. Yeah.
Wrapped into one beautiful dungeon to make all those people who are like, the dungeons are too easy. Well, here you go. Have fun.
And
put
he
it on
delivered.
4 altar there, buddy.
Well, I did 4 altar, it's...
You did, you madman.
I think you're the first person to do that. I am not aware of anyone else who's done that.
Oh, I'm the first with recorded evidence, at least. So that's a boss. It's a conversation. If you know where to click, it's very fast, very easy. Well, it's easy either way, but It's fast.
That was gonna be really crazy with the instant text skip that's getting
Oh,
put in.
I've tried it. It's a lot of fun. So, sadly in a speedrun, we're already done with this world. We're not gonna see it anymore. If you're doing this casually, there are more stuff to do here, especially if you do 100%. And also Best Girl is somewhere in there. Sadly, she's not marriageable. Is that a word?
No. Marriageable?
Yeah.
I think so.
Now it's a word. So now we need to talk to Lynn, and because today she's in the basement of the church. However, I'm hurt, so she's gonna heal me first. Wasted time. And because I have a bed here, I might as well sleep here. And now it's morning, so she's gonna be in her field. So at this point, we just need to get married, so it's gonna be a lot of talk, sleep, talk, sleep, talk, sleep, because, you know, that's... Wait, where am I going? Oh, right. Yeah. Because, I mean, that's how you marry a girl in real life, right? You talk to them once, you go to bed. You talk to them once, you go to bed.
I mean, I guess if you really boil it down.
And after that, we're actually gonna do the last dungeon in the vanilla game.
The lighthouse.
The lighthouse. Do the lighthouse usually give people problem? Because
Not
there's like
much.
there's like one puzzle in there.
It's more like two. There's the one that has the pit and the cannonballs, and then there's the one that has the fire and the switchable walls.
Yeah, it's that one.
Don't forget the important step of answering a single yes or no question per day.
Ah, yes, of course. Always answer their question. They don't like when you don't answer their question. I know that from experience. Yep.
Hello, Pillow.
Hello, Pillow.
So, just for posterity, Pillow Sledder is actually the other pixel artist who helped work on this game. He did a lot of the dungeon art.
Oh.
And if you play through Heroes Rest, he did a lot of some of the extra stuff in that. Especially there's like a part where you'll see a lot of like interesting looking trees. He did those and some other stuff. So he is a big reason why we were able to get this game finished.
Everyone say thanks, Pillow.
Thanks, Pillow.
There is no way we could have finished this game without every single person that we had on the team.
Yes.
We worked our tails off, and even then it was cutting it close. So we're very appreciative of all the people in that credits.
Yeah.
So I think this is the day we're actually gonna marry. So we're even gonna get a fancy pixel art of it. And each girl have their own unique style. Catch them all.
As it should be.
Yes.
Yeah. So Scoot, our concept artist, drew all the concept art for the wedding stuff, and I kind of just transposed it into pixel art. And I think that the Lynn, actually no, I take it back. The Lynn one, he actually did draw in pixel art, and I just cleaned it up a little bit.
Oh.
So that one is pretty much just him.
And here we're gonna see Amadeus for the last time in this run. He doesn't hate us anymore.
Maybe he just hates you a little less.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we still have to prove the last step of actually, you know, cleaning up the final mess we created.
Soft disdain.
I've gone from abject hatred to a soft disdain.
So gentlemanly.
Ah, right. I did it slowly, so I got blocked. I didn't feel like damage boosting. I probably could have done it, but I mean, I'm going through up to the last bosses. And while I don't really find them particularly difficult myself, It's also quite easy to accidentally get hit by one of his attacks.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that is flying around.
Yeah, that's no problem for me. The problem is the quick slashes when he's following you. Because if you like start running too late when you realize what he's doing, you will get hit, especially if you run to the left and not right.
A lot of people get really upset about that first hit that he does. Because it's really quick.
I mean,
And
he's there to
it's
kill
hilarious.
you.
Because you'll have people reach him with 1 HP, and they'll not be paying attention, and then he'll just gank them right there. They're toast.
So here's the first Bolivar fight. We need to hit him 6 times with 3 charge attacks, depending on. He has 3 attacks. This is a spin attack. This is the last thing we want, because he's invulnerable, but in general, for us, the boss shouldn't fight more than 10 seconds. If it lasts more than 10 seconds, you have really bad RNG. Other than that, we have like the last puzzle of the game, which... Oh god. Yeah, rocks can drop that. We don't want them in speedrun. It slows you down.
No, stop dropping treasure for me.
And in here we have the last boss. For us. And that's the first hit. It used to hit me a lot because I usually try to charge up my pickaxe early on, even though you don't have to, because it will get cancelled. And thanks to that, it always hits me.
But no longer.
But no longer. So you need to wait for your spouse to spawn, or if you're not married, it will be your grandpa. When you touch it, the boss will be vulnerable. And for a short while, and then you're gonna have to wait again. And because we're buffed to the max, we do quite a lot of damage, so we will actually just 2-cycle this boss.
You used to be able to 1-cycle him actually, and I think Subspace still managed to do it even after we made a change to the timing for the attacks. Yeah, but he said it's really difficult.
Oh wow. I can't even imagine. So, well, that's the 80% marriage run. Of course, there is so much more to this game. In fact, this part is actually my least favorite part of the game.
It's the first.
Yeah, the vanilla part is the least favorite for me. It's here the fun begins. Because you have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more dungeons to do. One of those, well, 8 if you count the crystal caverns. But we did that once. So you basically have 8 more dungeons, and one of those dungeons is basically 8 dungeons in itself. So you have basically 16 more dungeons in this game, all more difficult than you just saw.
It's
and more bosses.
Yeah, more bosses, more content, more puzzles, more upgrades, more lore, more waifus to marry. It's just an incredible game.
It's us.
It's
we
you.
did it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a speed run.
So that is Prodigal. Is there anything more you want to add?
I don't know if I really have anything. I just, thanks for having us on. It's been a pleasure to kind of talk through this speed run and enjoy it again. I know Min and I kind of hang out and watch some of your attempts every once in a while. But
yeah, I appreciate it.
It's cool to go through it and hear you talk about the different strats and be able to talk about the game a little bit.
And we're thankful to have you here as well. It's always cool to have developers on, get a different perspective on everything.
I will say though, for those of you that are watching this speedrun and think, gosh, that looks kind of fun.
Oh, right.
We are going to be having an event starting in September. That is a special race for which there will be some pretty cool rewards, even if you're not in the top 3 of the race. So if it looks interesting and you want to try getting into it, we have a very supportive group of runners who love to teach people the tips and tricks and how to do stuff. So don't hesitate to try and jump in.
What if I told you? What if I told you that one of the prizes for the speed run? What if I told you that if you do well enough, or meet one of the special conditions, that you'll get to have an NPC appear in the casino?
Wow, leaker, excuse me.
I mean,
Get this guy out of here.
the NPC thing you actually mentioned in Discord.
Right, but I think that's something that might interest some of the viewers here.
Absolutely.
So top 3 will definitely get an NPC, but we're gonna have some other parameters that people will have the opportunity to potentially meet, and they'll get one as well.
Cool.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah,
Good
thank you
luck.
for having here. I think we should wrap it up.
All right, well,
Yeah.
so long.
So long. Thank you for joining.
Farewell.
And well, we'll see you next time I will be hosting or be on a show. So, well, farewell maybe. I don't know. See ya.